From the moment you set the intention to practice semen retention, your life begins to transform. It's the ultimate transformation or spiritual technology. I'm going to explain to you in this video why. Hi, my name is Nakula and I help men master their sexual energy so that you can use that energy to create the life you want. Sexual energy is creative energy, and creative energy can be expressed on different platforms. It can be expressed physically. That's generally the act of sex, but also the act of creation. If you're creating art, if you're building a building, anything that you're creating, anything that you desire to see come into fruition, you want more money, you want better health, the source of that desire is your sexual energy, and the power to create that is your sexual energy. But when you practice semen retention, or when you set that intention, okay, I'm going to practice semen retention, which is ultimately saying I am going to take on a willing sacrifice. I'm going to sacrifice 5 to 10 seconds of pleasure for a greater pleasure or a greater power and discovery within myself. So when you intend to do that, right away, you have to start to shift your relationship with ejaculation and sex altogether. You have to start becoming less attached to it and therefore less controlled by it. That's the secret. Whatever controls you, you're attached to. If you don't want something to control you, don't be attached to it and you'll be free. So semen retention is a consciousness, an awareness that your sexual energy, your sexual urges, whether that's insecurity around sexuality, guilt, shame around sexuality, not feeling sexual enough, whether having too much sex desire, too little sex, it doesn't matter, because I don't know what any of that is. It's your relationship with sex that's creating it. It's your consciousness that's giving it its life force. And it's either creating positive, abundant, exponential growth in your life, or it's creating exponential death in your life. It's on a downward spiral. As a sexual alchemist, that's what I teach inside the Semen Retention Army. That's what I teach with the men who work with me. These practices help you practice semen retention in a progressive way. And the first step to realizing a deeper truth, a deeper transcendental truth, or spiritual truth, whatever you want to call it, within yourself, a greater consciousness, something that has more power than your limitations, has more power than your insecurities. When you discover that within yourself, and you can only discover that through practices of awareness, there's no other way, then you will discover that your sexual energy is also an energy that can be engaged in your spiritual journey, and therefore it can be transformed. Now, according to Ayurveda, this transformation is a literal transformation. You see, whatever you ate 30 days ago is today your semen. And it goes through a refining process. Your food, it all starts with what you put in your body, in your mouth. It all starts there, because whatever you put into your body becomes your body. So if you're putting in shitty things into your body becomes shitty. Your semen, your very life force, your very sexual drive becomes shitty. So your aura becomes weak. And when your aura becomes weak, now you're susceptible to both physical and psychological disease. So what happens is you become aware of semen, your semen retention. Therefore, naturally, you become aware of your sexuality, your sexual urges, and how they're playing, and everything surrounded around it. And there's so much there. And then you begin to retain, and you begin to become more aware, and you begin to show up in your own life with all the urges and all the fantasies and all the impressions. Everything begins to start to flood up to the conscious mind, because semen is an exponential thing. Sexual energy exponentially grows whatever it touches. And so because you're keeping it within yourself, you're exponentially growing. And that's why everything comes up. And that's why most guys can't do semen retention. They relapse. You know why they relapse? Because they can't deal with who they are. Because semen retention doesn't make you more positive. It doesn't make you a better human being. It simply expands you. It gives whatever you are life. So, as you become aware of it, you're becoming aware of the very energy that's driving you. And then, as you practice semen retention and that food is extracted, the nutrients are distributed, but the best stuff is held within the semen to give the possibility of new life the best chance. Once you retain for about 7 to 14 days without ejaculating, your body then, it's accumulating semen, is going to go, wait, man, you're not ejaculating, you're not potentially giving more life. We've got all of our best stuff sitting here. Well, I better use it and keep helping you grow so that you can get laid. Your body literally will drive you to become a more attractive man by practicing semen retention, because nature wants you to have a partner, because nature from a physical level wants you to reproduce. It wants you to be attractive. It wants you to carry your lineage on. Now, what ends up happening is all these proteins and enzymes and nutrients get recircled in the body, healing you. And this is where guys experience all kinds of different physical transformation, fat loss, muscle growth, deeper voice, brighter eyes. They experience mental and psychological benefits, clarity of mind, brain fog disappearing, procrastination disappearing, because they're growing strength of will in sexual alchemy and semen retention. Then that will, it's a muscle, it carries over to all areas of life. Now they have the willpower to make those extra sales calls or ask for that raise. Now they're making more money. They have the willpower to focus on their health. Now they're at the gym, or now they're excelling in their sport or their art. And for those guys who are using semen retention to excel their spirituality, what ends up happening is once there's an excess of semen, the body's created more than what's needed. What a great place to be, an abundance of energy. Instead of being depleted of energy, you're now abundant of energy, abundant of creative force. That's the power of sexual alchemy, to be abundant in creative force. Imagine what you can create when you have an abundance of energy, clarity of mind, you're focused. There's nothing that can stop you. And so what ends up happening is, according to Ayurveda, what ends up happening is that the semen then eventually gets transformed like water heating up and turning into gas. And this gas begins to flow upwards. And when this begins to happen in the body, your higher intuitive centers, your pineal gland gets stimulated, all your hormones get stimulated, and because of that, you become a conduit for consciousness, for spirit to literally flow through you. You have tremendous amounts of realizations about who you are, and your whole vibration increases, your whole energy increases, you expanding your awareness, expanding your very consciousness and being. And once consciousness is expanded, it's like the butterfly going into transforming into the caterpillar. It never becomes a caterpillar again. It's real transformation. There's no relapse in that, because it's now just who you are. So whatever you're after, more money in your life, maybe you find yourself, I need to make money. Great. Semen retention will give you the willpower, the strength, the energy, the focus, and the vibration. What you need to couple it with is business acumen and knowledge. Learn about money, make friends with money. You can't have negative thoughts around money and want money in your life. You can't have negative thoughts around sexuality and want sex in your life. You can't have negative thoughts about friends and then want friends in your life. And you definitely can't have negative thoughts about yourself and life and God and want that in your life. You become what you think about. So through semen retention, you can do this. You can increase the passion, the sexual tension, the excitement, the fun, the adventure you're experiencing in your relationship. You can reignite an old relationship, maybe that's become mundane or dry, and reignite it with fun and excitement, because you're reigniting your energy with that vibrant, youthful, creative life force. And as we get older, it just drains out of us. And the more you've been jerking off and the more you've been watching porn and misusing your sexual energy, then you've depleted all that. But the beauty is you can rejuvenate it, and you're going to see an increase in your health. And then for those guys who want to attract God himself, who are using semen retention as part of their purification process, then that becomes the ultimate form of transformation, spiritual transformation for you. Because once your semen begins to flow upwards in the body, you will notice, you don't have to ask anybody, you yourself will know, I am expanding, I am more aware of who I am every single moment, every single day. I'm more joyful because of it, I feel better, and I know because I'm making good decisions in my life that are taking me towards my goals. At that point, you've realized a greater dimension within yourself, and from there on, it's an endless ocean of discovery. If you want that in your life, if you're ready to take the next step in your practice, in your life, and transform every aspect of your life, because it's a root thing that we're doing here, it transforms you at your very level of consciousness, then go take the free ejaculation control guide. Take it serious, get started right away, go through the program. Make sure you reach out and connect with me inside the program. You'll be able to send me direct messages, get started in your sexual alchemy practice, and become everything that God created you to be. I'll see you on the next video.